Well, I think we're all still feeling a little bit shell-shocked, bruised, battered, still kind of scratching our heads about what's happened. I guess we're going to have to start with transfer deadline day. I mean, I think we're all still trying to get our heads around what's happened with the departure of Andy Carroll. A lot of money to bring in, but what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I mean, the first thing I would say is Andy Carroll, he's not available anyway. He wasn't available beforehand. He's not going to be available for a few weeks, so the impact of him not being in the team isn't really relevant at this minute. But in terms of no one's coming to replace him and there's no security sort of factor on, oh, don't worry, Andy's going to be back in the next few weeks, I think that really had an effect on the team at Fulham. But the main thing, as you say, is the fact that no strikers come in to replace him. There's a few desperate bids for well, one of them was Charles Nzogha actually.
Yeah.
But there's a few desperate bids I think went in at the death, and nothing came off. But I think if they were going to sell Andy Carroll, then maybe they should have moved earlier and had some replacements lined up, because we are looking very bare in the front line at the moment.
I guess one of the things that I found weird was that it was the last day of the transfer window, so you could have easily have just said, no, you're not going anywhere. We'll deal with everything in the summer. If you still want to go in the summer, we'll sell you then. When they've had loads more time, there'd probably been more clubs in for him. So they might have got even more money out of it. But as you're right, he's gone now. But what do you think psychologically that did to the players? They didn't seem to have the same spring in their step, did they, out on the pitch?
I think if you're a player of any ambition and you want to play in a team that wants to go places, when a team starts shipping its best players out, you start wondering, well, is this a selling club? Is it a catwalk club, as some people call it? And when I was looking on the pitch last night, I was looking at maybe Joey Barton, who was putting 100% in. I'm thinking, is everyone else on the same wavelength as the likes of him? And on last night's Evans, you're looking at the front line, and it looked so raw. Leon Best seemed like little boy lost it at times. Niall Ranger just can't seem to finish. And Barton was pinging balls down the right, and there was just nothing. No one was feeding off it at all, and there was nothing coming from anywhere else, really.
Well, I think it's good. Niall Ranger, he's got a real chance now. And I know there's been a little bit of a buzz of excitement about him coming through the ranks, but he's really got to step up now. And it's no good sort of talking the talk. It's really time to walk the walk. And I mean, as you say, he looked. Aaron Hughes, a former Newcastle United defender, vastly experienced. He just had him in his pocket yesterday, and he's going to come up against that week in, week out now. Leon Best has scored a hat-trick. Great, brilliant, wonderful. Got all the pats on the back he deserved for that. But now he's really got to prove he's good enough to play in the Premier League. He's done it in one game. Niall Ranger hasn't even done it in one game yet. He's done it in 20 minutes. So there's a lot of pressure on those two. And Peter Loverkrantz seems to be the kind of odd one out a little bit. But somehow those three have got to muddle through, because it's looking like Shola Amiobi's going to be out for a lengthy period.
Well, I'm just hoping that maybe Kevin Nolan can get a hold of Niall Ranger and do what he done with Carroll, and he moulded him into a top international striker. When Nolan was playing that deep lying forward role, Carroll was playing off him, and he was brilliant. Carroll done most of the work himself, but that'll be a comedy phone call.
Not now, Andy.
And Niall Ranger's got to step up to the plate, as you say, and we've got to take it from there, I think.
It doesn't get much tougher than Arsenal either. I mean, they'll be rubbing their hands with glee, won't they? They're coming up here, got a bit of a revenge mission, lost 1-0 at the Emirates. Andy Carroll's goal, of course, which was probably one of our best days out this season as journalists and as supporters and whatever else. And it doesn't get much tougher, but Newcastle have, we keep all the season when we've written them off, they've come back and they've answered us. So we just got to hope, I guess, everyone, that they can do it again.
Yeah, I mean, remember what it was like at the Emirates. It seems like a million years ago now. Chris Hughton was in charge, Andy Carroll got the winner. The fans were just going off the back of a 5-1 win over Sunderland, and now going in the last 14 games, it's looking a bit threadbare.
It's going to be nervy, isn't it? But I guess you just staying up, that's what they've got to do. I mean, that was a target at the end of the season. We'd started to believe that maybe they were capable of a little bit more with, as you say, Andy Carroll due to come back in 4 to 6, maybe even 8 weeks. He's still been there for good 6-7 games of the season. But now I guess just survival and just get that amount of points, get over the line, and then rebuild in the summer.
Yeah, that's all we can do.